Hey, so today I'm gonna give you 5 tips on using a slider, as well as a review on the cheapest slider on Amazon. So to start off, this is the Zecti. It's pretty small. It's very small. It is $50. It might not be the cheapest slider on Amazon, but that $50 range is like the sweet point to where you start to get some pretty decent quality. Cause it's pretty decent actually. But let me put this away for a second. Let me show you some tips on using your own slider. Not sure if this counts as a tip, but number 1, use the correct tripod. It was impossible to use a slider on my old tripod. It has like this locking system. It's a quick release system, but the issue is that it's not fully secure, so it kind of wobbles. So as soon as you have your slider, it wobbles and it's just unusable. What I would recommend is getting a tripod that kind of tightens in. There's a whole bunch of these with the Arca Swiss tripods. Get one of those. Just having your slider tightened and not moving on your tripod is gonna make a world of a difference. Tip number 2, you're gonna go ahead and pick up one of these. This is just a little 5-inch articulating arm. You can get a 7-inch, 11-inch, whatever works for you. Just get an articulating arm. This particular slider has these little threads right on top of this base plate. You're gonna take your arm, you're gonna screw it into these threads. You're just gonna position it in a way that feels comfortable. Mine's kind of at like a 90-degree angle. The little section on the very back is tilted down just a little bit so it cups over my finger. This is just a lot easier for me to be able to use the slider. Not having to position my hand in weird places or use the little knob on the back. Having this just makes it easier for me to slide. I mean, that's about it. Try it for yourself. I don't know. It makes it a little bit easier. Number 3, rubber bands. Rubber bands are gonna make it a lot easier. Us as humans, we're not perfect. We're not machines. This isn't a motorized slider. It's hard to move your hand side to side smoothly, especially when you're trying to get really tight shots. You're gonna see a lot of micro jitters. It's a thing. It happens. Sometimes you don't have control over it. Your speed isn't gonna be 100% consistent throughout, but what's gonna help with this are rubber bands. Thickness does play a factor. Obviously, the thicker the rubber band, the more resistance it's gonna have, and the thinner the rubber band, the less resistance. So, find a thickness that works for you. But I just hooked a rubber band to the little knob on the back of the slider, and what this is gonna do, it's gonna smooth out a lot of those micro jitters and the speed change and stuff like that. It's gonna hopefully make it a lot more consistent and a lot smoother, and it's gonna make your slides just that much better. Number 4, we're gonna reverse it. It's hard to nail your focus, nail your timing, nail your spot. This is gonna work really good for close-ups and product photography and stuff like that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna set up your shot first, put it into manual focus, and then slide. Now in post, we're just gonna reverse that, and now it looks like it slides and stops. Slides and stops, slides and stops. I don't know, man. Is it a tip? Is it a trick? I don't know, but it might help you. You can mess around with the speed vamping in your software too, so that way it doesn't just abruptly stop. It can ease into it just a tad bit. Maybe it goes past and back a little bit. Who knows? That's really up to you. Number 5. The tilt. So I like using this on the push in and pull out shots. What you're gonna do, this is super simple. You're just going to adjust your tripod head, and you're gonna make your slider just off axis just a little bit. So you don't want it to be level. You want it just tilted just a tiny bit. You want it tilted enough to where gravity is gonna take your camera and start moving it itself. So for these push in and out shots, I'm gonna tilt it back just a little bit, and once I move my hand, the camera is gonna start sliding back on its own just a tad bit. You can also do this for your traditional slide shots, just left and right. So you're gonna take your slider and just go just a little bit off axis, and that way your camera just nicely slides. If done correctly, if under the right conditions, it'll look really good. Actually, it'll look just as good as a motorized slider. Doing this method can really help you get that consistent speed. So what do I think about this particular slider? I think it is the best $50 slider on Amazon. honestly. This thing is nice. It's small, it's compact. It's a really good first slider. Obviously, you're not gonna really use this like on big landscapes or like super big objects because you're not going to see that big of a change. But if you're filming a lot of small stuff like product photography or whatever, this thing is going to be very good. It's also really nice to learn on. So I'll leave this in the description if you want to check it out. It's not too bad. I don't remember why I bought it, but I did, so I figured I would make a video on it. That's all that I have for you guys. Let me know if you use a slider in the comments below and which slider that is. Let me know if you found any of these tips helpful. That's all I have for you, I guess. Okay, cool. Come back in the next video. Don't forget about me. Subscribe, like, and comment, all that good stuff. And I'm out. Okay? Okay. Thank you.